Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Check. Okay. Um, Hare Krishna. Can you hear me now? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritcham Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashta Prayesha Bhadresha Nityam Bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, from verse 25. Harirmuhuttatparah karnapurna pura gunabidanena vijrambhanayana bhaktya hi asanga sat asati anatmani syan nirgune brahmani chanjasaratihi. The devotee should gradually increase the culture of devotional service by constant hearing of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These pastimes are like ornamental decorations on the ears of devotees. By rendering devotional service and transcending the material qualities, one can easily be fixed in transcendence in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. यदा रतिर्ब्रह्मणि नैष्टिकी पुमान् आचार्यवान् ज्ञानविराग रंहसा दहत्यै अवीर्यं हृदयं जीवकोशं पञ्चात्मकं योनिम् इवोत्थितोऽग्निरि इवो Ivothitognihi. Upon becoming fixed in his attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the grace of spiritual master and by awakening knowledge and detachment, the living entity situated within the heart of the body and covered by the five elements burns up his material surroundings exactly as fire arising from wood burns the wood itself. दग्धाशयो मुक्तसमस्ततद्गुणो नैवात्मनो बहिरन्तर्विचस्ते परात्मनोर्यद् व्यवधानं पुरस्तात् स्वप्ने यथा पुरुषे तद् विनाशे. When a person becomes devoid of all material desires and liberated from all material qualities, he transcends distinctions between actions executed externally and internally. At that time, the difference becomes the soul, between the soul and the supersoul, which was existing before self realization is annihilated. When a dream is over, there is no longer a distinction between the dream and the dreamer. आत्मानं इन्द्रियार्थं च परं यद् उभयोरपि सत्यासयत् उपादौ वै पुमान् पश्यति नान्यदा. When the soul exists for sense gratification, he creates different desires, and for that reason, he becomes subjected to designations. But when one is in the transcendental position, he is no longer interested in anything except fulfilling the desires of the Lord. निमित्ता सति सर्वत्र जलादावपि पूरुषः आत्मनश्च परस्यापि विदां पश्यति नान्यदा. Only because of different causes does a person see a difference between himself and others, just as one sees the reflection of a body appearing differently manifested in water, on oil, or in a mirror. इन्द्रियैर्विषाकृष्टैर् आक्षिप्तं ध्यायतां मनः चेतनां हर्यते बुद्धे Stambastoyam iva hridat. When one's mind and senses are attracted to sense objects for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result of continually thinking of sense objects, one's real consciousness almost becomes lost like the water in a lake that is gradually sucked up by the big grass straws on its bank. भृश्यति अनुस्मृतिश्चित्तं ज्ञानभ्रंशः समृतिक्षये तद्रोधं कवयः प्राहुरात्मपनव आत्मनः. When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present one. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on a false foundation. When this occurs, learned scholars consider that the soul is lost. Natam parataro loke pumsam swarta vyatikramaha yadadya anasya pretasvam atmanam swavyaktikramat. There is no stronger obstruction to one's self-interest than thinking other subject matters to be more pleasing than one's self-realization. Artendriyartebhyayanam sarvatapnavo nृणां भ्रंशितो ज्ञानविज्ञानाद् येना विशति मुख्यताम्. For human society, constantly thinking of how to earn money and apply it for sense gratification brings about the destruction of everyone's interest. When one becomes devoid of knowledge and devotional service, he enters into species of life like those of trees and stones. Na kuryat karhichit sangam tamastivram titirish तितिरिषुः धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां यत् अत्यंत विघातकम्. Those who strongly desire to cross the ocean of nescience must not associate with the modes of ignorance, for hedonistic activities are the greatest obstructions to realization of religious principles, economic development, regulated sense gratification, and at last liberation. तत्रापि मोक्ष एवार्थ अत्यन्तिकतेष्यत्ये त्रैवर्ग्योऽर्थो यतो नित्यं कृतान्तभयसमुत्थयः samyutah. Sorry. Out of the four principles, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation has to be taken very seriously. The other three are subject to destruction by stringent law of nature, death. परे वरे च ये भावा गुणव्यक्तिकराद् अनु न तेषां विद्यते क्षेमम् ईशा विध्वंसिताशीषाम्. We accept as blessings different states of higher life, distinguishing them from lower states of life. But we should know that such distinctions exist only in relation to the interchange of the modes of material nature. Actually, these states of life have no permanent existence, for all of them will be destroyed by the Supreme Controller. तत्त्वं नरेन्द्र जगताम् अततुष्टुत्सां च देहेन्द्रियाशु दिशनात्मभिरावृतानां यक्षेत्रवित्तपतया हृदि विश्वदावि प्रत्यक्षकास्ति भगवांस्तं अवेहि सोऽस्मि. Sanat Kumara advised the king, therefore, my dear King Pṛthu, try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is living within everyone's heart along with the individual soul in each and every body, either moving or not moving. The individual souls are fully covered by the gross material body and subtle body made of the life, air, and intelligence. यस्मिन् इदं सदसत् आत्मतया विभाति माया विवेक विभूतिश्रजीवा हि बुद्धि तं नित्यमुक्तपरिशुद्धविशुद्धतत्त्वं प्रत्यूढ कर्म कलिलप्रकृतिं प्रपद्ये. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests Himself as one with the cause and effect within this body, but one who has transcended the illusory energy by deliberate consideration. which clears the misconception of a snake for a rope, can understand that the Paramatma is eternally transcendental to the material creation and situated in pure internal energy. Thus, the Lord is transcendental to all material contamination. Unto him only must one surrender. यत्पादपङ्कजपलासविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयान् गृहीतम् उग्द्रतयन्ति सन्ता तद्वन्न रिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि वृद्धा श्रोतो गणास्तं अरणं भजं वासुदेवम्. The devotees, who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, can very easily overcome hard knotted desires for fruitive activities. Because this is very difficult, the non devotees, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to stop the waves of sense gratification, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. कृच्छ्रो महान् इह भवार्णवम् अप्लवेशां सद्वर्गनक्रम् असख्येन तितीर्ष्यन्ति तत्त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयम् अङ्घ्रिं कृत्वोड्डुपं व्यसनम् उत्तरदुस्तरात्मम्. The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. मैत्रेयवाच स एवं ब्रह्मपुत्रेण कुमारेणात्ममेधसा दर्शितात्मा गतिः सम्यक् प्रशस्योवाच तं नृपः. The great sage Maitreya continued, because thus enlightened in complete spiritual knowledge by the son of Brahma, one of the Kumāras, who was complete in spiritual knowledge, the king worshipped them in the following words. राजोवाच कृतो मेऽनुग्रहः पूर्वं हरिणार्तनुकम्पिना तम् आपादयितुं ब्रह्मन् भगवतो यूयम् आगताः. The king said, O Brahmana, O powerful one, formerly Lord Vishnu showed me his causeless mercy, indicating that you would come to my house, and to confirm that blessing you all have come. निष्पादितश्च कार्त्स्नेन भगवद्भिर्गृणालुभिः साधु चित्तिष्ठं हि मे सर्वम् आत्मना सह किं ददे. My dear Brahmana, you have carried out the order thoroughly because you are also as compassionate as the Lord. It is my duty, therefore, to offer you something, but all I possess are but remnants of food taken by great saintly persons. What shall I give? प्राणाधारसुता ब्रह्मन् गृहाश्च सपरिच्छदाः राज्यं बलं महीकोश इति सर्वनिवेदितम्. The king continued, therefore, my dear Brahmanas, my life, wife, children, home, furniture and household paraphernalia, my kingdom, strength, land, and especially my treasury are all offered unto you. सैनापत्य च राज्यं च दण्डनेतृत्वमेव च सर्वलोकाधिपत्यं च वेदशास्त्राविद् अर्हति. Since only a person who is completely educated according to the principles of Vedic knowledge deserves to be commander in chief, ruler of the state, the first to chastise or to proprietor of the whole planet, Pṛthu Maharaj offered everything to the Kumāras. स्वम् एव ब्राह्मणो भुङ्क्ते स्वं वस्ते स्वं ददाति च तस्यैवानुग्रहेणान्नं भुञ्जते क्षत्रियादयः. The Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras eat their food by virtue of the Brahmanas' mercy. It is the Brahmanas who enjoy their own property, clothe themselves with their own property, and give charity with their own property. यैर्ईदृशी भगवतो गतिरात्मवाद एकान्ततो निगमभिः प्रतिपादितः न तुष्यन्तदभ्र करुणा स्वकृतेन नित्यं को नाम तत् प्रतिकरोति विनोदपात्रम्. Pṛthu Maharaj continued, how can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction and Vedic evidence, be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction? Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed amongst human society out of their unlimited mercy. मैत्रेयवाच त आत्मयोगपतया आदिराजेन पूजिताः शीलं तदीयं संसन्तः खीभवं मिषतां नृप्नाम्. The great sage Maitreya continued, being thus worshipped by Maharaj Pṛthu, the four Kumāras who were masters of devotional service became very pleased. Indeed, they appeared in the sky and praised the character of the king, and everyone observed them. Vainyastu, is it already? Okay, I'll stop it here. Verse number 48. Thank you very much. So let's understand the beauty of this chapter. Especially these parts explain the science of self-realization, means how to understand our own self. After understanding our own self, understanding what are the activities that we should really perform, what are the activities that we should not perform. All these things are very nicely summarized from verse number 25. Um, in a nutshell, I'm just seeing. The devotees gradually, 25. It is said the devotees gradually increase the culture of devotional service by constant hearing of transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord. So the only way is what? Harikatha. All other things, yeah, we may think, yeah, I'm going to a temple, I'm doing that service, that worship, that worship. No, the best thing is Shravanam. Because Shravanam is the means through which one is uh, absorbing the Lord, absorbing His qualities, absorbing His Leelas, and that calms our nerves, that calms our heart, that fills us with happiness, because after all, we are all looking for happiness. Here it says, in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning this verse is especially mentioned to substantiate the devotional process of hearing the subject matter. We can increase our propensity for devotional service by hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from realized souls. The more we hear from realized souls, the more we make advancement in our devotional life. The more we advance in devotional life, the more we become detached from the material world. The more we become detached from the material world, as advised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the more we increase our attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a devotee who actually wants to make progress in devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead, must lose interest in sense enjoyment and associating with persons who are after money and sense gratification. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yeah, this is in Madhya Leela, Nishkinchayasya Bhagavad Bhajanon Mukasya Param Param Jigamishor Bhava Sagarasya Sandarshanam Vishayinam Yatha Yoshitam Cha Ha Hanta Hanta Visha Bhakshanato Api Asadhu. The word Brahmani used in the verse is commented by the impersonalist. Anyway, that is going in the direction which saying that bhakti, one should advance in devotional service. Yada ratir brahmani naistiki puman acharyavan jnana viraga ramhasa. Ramhasa means uh, uh, push, yeah, force, um, strong desire. What is it? Upon becoming fixed in his attachment at the feet of the Lord, by the grace of the spiritual master and by awakening knowledge and detachment, living entity situated within the heart of the body, covered by elements, burns up his material surroundings exactly as fire burns the wood itself. So, and then There is this further explanation. Next verse, it is said the principle is when a person becomes devoid of all material desires and liberated from all material qualities, he transcends distinctions between actions and executed externally and internally. To address that, Srila Prabhupada is referring in the purport, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, Iha yasya hare dasya karmana manasa gira nikhilasvapi avastashu jiva mukta sa uchyate. Jivan mukta, what is jivan mukta means? When one is completely fixed in the service of the Lord, he is liberated. Jivan Mukta. Liberated means Mukti. Jivan Mukta means liberated person. Who is how to attain Uchyate, how to come to that stage is Iha Yasya Hare Dasya Karmana Manasa Gira. So it means he is called Jivan Mukta even within this body. How? When he is engaged completely in the service of the Lord. In such liberated condition, there is no distinction between action of sense gratification and action for liberation. When one is liberated from the desires of sense gratification, he has no longer to suffer. Uh, in this case, we can give the example of Madhavendra Puri. Of course, we can see he is also taking milk and but like any other man, no, there is so much difference. Why? Because he is a Jivan Mukta. He is completely fixed in service of the Lord. So one cannot put him under the remits of the society and society terms. Atmanam indriyartham cha param yad ubhayor api sat asaya upadau vai puman pasyati nan yada. Uh, it is said when the soul exists for sense gratification, soul exists for sense gratification, he creates different desires. So the moment when we think all a purpose of our life is to enjoy, to have desires, to fulfill the desires. So it is not actually the soul's intention because soul is anyway happy. It is that we are covered and that's why it is the dictation of the body and the senses which are asking us to do that. But when one is in the transcendental position, he is no longer interested in anything except fulfilling the desires of the Lord. So desiring is our nature. But what kind of desire? It is actually for the pleasure of the Lord to serve, which means our innate position is that we are servant of the Lord. But because we are conditioned, because we are in this material world, we tend to think that I am not this servant, but I am the master. That's why um, in this is explained by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is that? Anasaktaya Vishyan Yadhartam Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyati. What is the real Vairagya? Yukta Vairagya is the best. Not just giving up everything, just no. Yukta Vairagya means engaging all, everything. Uh, Anasaktasya Visayan, to not be carried away with material desires. Yathartham upayunjatah nirbandha krishnasam. After having detachment, what should one do? One should attach to what? To Krishna. Krishna samadhi. To do everything which is related to Krishna. And that is what is called the best detachment. What is best giving up is yukta vairagyam uchyate. Although he sees trees, mountains, and other living entities moving here and there, he sees all as the creation of the Supreme Lord. It is said, this is called Mahā-bhāgavata state. Sthavara jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra haya nija ishta deva spurti. It is said that although he sees trees, moves, mountains, and other living entities moving here and there, he sees all as creation of the Lord with reference to the context, seeing only the creator and not the creator. Everything is created by someone. Who is that creator? So everything is one person who is doing. Not there are 10 things that are there. Yeah, of course 10 things are there, but who is the cause of all causes? Krishna. निमित्ते सति सर्वत्र जलादाव अपि पुरुषः आत्मनश्च परस्यापि विधाम पश्यति नान्यदा. No, there is no other reason. Only because of different causes does a person see a difference between himself and others. Otherwise, there is no reason. It is our situation. Vibhinna amsha. In the purport, Prabhupada gives, the spiritual soul is one, the supreme personality of Godhead. He is manifested in Swamsha and Vibhinnamsha. The jivas are vibhinna amshas, different incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are swamshas. Thus, there are different potencies of the Supreme Lord and there are different expansions of different potencies. Anyway, this is whole, it is telling how whole creation is and what is our nature and how are we related. That's why we are called part and parcels of the Supreme Lord, not independent. When one's mind and senses are attracted to the sense objects for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result of continually thinking of sense objects, one's real consciousness almost becomes lost, like the water in a lake. What is it? Water in a lake means that is gradually sucked up by the big grass straws into its bank. So slowly, this water that is absorbed by the straw, it becomes shallow. Mm. The example given here is very appropriate. If a big lake is covered all around by long kusha grass, like just like columns, the water dries up. Similarly, when the big column of material desire increase, the clear water of consciousness is dried up. Therefore, these columns of kusha grass should be cut or thrown away. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed that if from very beginning we do not take care of unwanted grass in the paddy fields, the grass fertilizing agents or water will be used by them and the paddy plants will dry. So we have to properly take care. We have to, it said in the last line. But if one desires, but if our desires are applied to the service of the Lord, they become purified and thus we become immediately freed from contamination, material contamination. So, all in all, I'm just going to the next 32. It says, there is there is no stronger obstruction to one's self-interest than thinking other subject matters to be more pleasing than one's self-realization. If we think that it's tomorrow I can do japat, after tomorrow I can do japat, I can read tomorrow, hear tomorrow. By the influence of Maya, one becomes more interested in sense gratification, which is prohibited in this world for those interested in self-realization. Instead of becoming interested in sense gratification, one should divert his activities to satisfy the senses of the super soul. Uh, Anything performed contrary to this principle is certainly against one's self interest. Saying so. Uh, and then, if that is the consciousness, if one is only interested in earning money, it says constantly thinking of how to earn money and apply it for sense gratification brings about destruction of everyone's interest. Hmm. So one should be careful how to balance our life, how to make sure that we don't over endeavor for material things. Rather, whatever little material we have, to engage that in spiritual activities. Those who strongly desire to cross the ocean of nescience, must not associate with the modes of ignorance. Yeah, because they become greatest obstructions to realization of religious principles, economic development, regulated sense gratification, and at last liberation. So, tatrapi moksha evarta atyantika yeshyati traivargyortho yatho nityam kritanta bhaya samyutah. Yeah, Trivargo, it's mentioned the three others, which is religion, uh, dharma, artha, kama. These are the three things are not so important. Kritanta bhaya samyutah. They say the other three are subject to distractions with the form of in the form of death. When death happens, all ever whatever we do, what will happen? It is only the liberation that stays. Yeah, if we really succeed. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama has no meaning after one dies. परे वारे च ये भावा गुण व्यतिकराद अनु न तेषां विद्यते क्षेमम ईशा विद्वसी तासी ताशीसाम तासीसाम. We accept as blessings different states of higher life, distinguishing them from lower states. But all this is nonsense. Yeah, if we are thinking, oh, I am getting a better way of life, yeah, in cities, or better way of life in heaven, all these things are not so. Actually, these states of life have no permanent existence, for all of them will be destroyed by the supreme controller. Brahma, Brahma Bhuvana Lokan Punar avirtino Arjuna mam upetya tu kaunteya punar janmana vidyate. Uh, So we have to look for that exit, the real exit. Yeah, last year you remember in Bhagavad Sapta we were talking about escape room. The key for the escape room is what? Bhakti. Sanat Kumar advised the king, therefore, my dear king, try to understand the Supreme Lord who is living within everyone's heart along with the individual soul in each and every body, either moving or not. Huh? So be with that. And and he says, Yasmin idam sad asad atmayataya vibhati maya viveka vibhuti sraji vahi buddhi tam nitya mukta parisuddha vishuddha tattvam. Shuddha tattva and vishuddha tattva. No, first no. Parisuddha tattva and vishuddha tattva. What is the meaning is Parishuddha means uncontaminated. Shuddha means pure. Parishuddha means uncontaminated. Vishuddha means pure. What is the meaning? What is the difference between these two? Yeah, when we see in the context of this verse, it is said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests Himself as one with the cause and effect within this body. But one who has transcended the illusory energy by deliberate consideration, which clears the misconception of the snake for a rope, can understand that Paramatma is eternally transcendental. So, thus the Lord is transcendental to all material contamination. Unto Him only must one surrender. Uh, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions about Vivartavad means um, mm, Paramatma. So let me refer that. Mm. Mayavadis proclaim that there is no separate existence outside the impersonal Brahma, and that feeling of separation is Maya, by which one considers a rope to be snake. The rope and the snake argument is generally offered by Mayavad philosophers. Therefore, they are called uh, Vivartavad, hmm, which means one says, yeah, there is no difference between snake and rope. They look same, but in fact they are different because rope is rope and snake is snake. Similarly, Paramatma is Paramatma and Atma, Jivatma is Jivatma. They are likened to two friends sitting on the same tree. Hmm? Yet Paramatma is above the illusory energy. The illusory energy is called Bahiranga Shakti, and the living entity is Tatastha Shakti, marginal. And I mean, the verse for today is Yat Pada Pankaja Palasa Vilasa Bhaktya Karmashayan Gratitam Udgrathayanti Shantaha Tadvanna Rikta Matayo Yatayopi Ruddha Shroto Ganastam Aranam Bhaja Vasudevam. This is it saying the devotees, the best, they are not jnanis, they are not yogis. What are they? Who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, can very easily overcome hard knotted desires for fruitive activities. Because this is very difficult, the non devotees, although trying to stop the waves, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Hmm? And Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yad Ahaitukam. This is, it is said, emphasized the same point, Bhaja Vasudevam. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Bhaja Vasudevam, it is to worship the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. Mm, I think we went even till 45 or 50, I think. But we could stop maybe after few verses. Yeah, the ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. What is the word for sharks? Nakram. Yeah, Nakram. Satvarga Nakram. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, uh, it is okay, it's possible to cross for non-devotees also, but we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. So we don't have to do too much, just hold the feet of the Lord and He takes us on the other side of the ocean. Hmm. So Maitreya is saying, Sa eva Brahma putrena Kumarenatma Medhasa darshitatma gati samyak prasasya vacha tam nripa. He's saying, being thus enlightened in complete spiritual knowledge. Kumar, one of the Kumara who was speaking, Sanat Kumara, the king worshipped them with great respect. This is very important. One should not take Guru so easily. After all, why should Sanat Kumar come into the life of Pṛthu Maharaj? Pṛthu is anyway there. Why is Kumara coming into his life? Is to enlighten him, to take him to the next step. So, the king also is saying, "O powerful one, formerly Lord Vishnu told that you will come, and you have come to make anyway. His words won't go uh, lie. Yeah, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur desired to fulfill this great prediction. What is the prediction? The prediction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that this Hare Krishna mantra spreads in all towns and villages, huh? Would broadcast in all the towns and villages of the world. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur desired to fulfill this great prediction, and we are following in their footsteps. So, if we really want to be part of that mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is that we should preach. Preaching is breathing the spirit of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how can we do that? By engaging in bhajan, by doing kirtan, and by doing harikatha. Yada, yeah. Then it goes, my dear Brahmana, you have carried out the order thoroughly because you are also as compassionate as the Lord. It is my duty, therefore, to offer you something. But what should I give? So I will give everything, whatever I have. Prana, Dhara, Sutta, Brahman. He is saying, my life, my wife, children, Sutta, and then Brahman, home, furniture, and household paraphernalia, my kingdom, strength, land, especially my treasury, are all offered unto you. And then he says, since only a person who is completely educated, according to the principles of Vedic knowledge, deserves to be commander in chief, ruler of the state, the first of to chastise the whole planet, Pṛthu Maharaj offered everything to Kumāras. And yeah, we come to the last verse. No. Swam eva brahmano bhunkte swam vaste swam dadati cha tasyai vanugrahenam bhunjate kshatriyadaya. So kshatriya, vaishya, shudra eat their food by the virtue of brahmanas. So yeah. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions about Krishna. For Krishna, it is Brahmanas and cows are very dear. Go Brahmana hitaya cha. Therefore, charity should be given by Kshatriyas and Vaishyas under the instructions of Brahmanas. It is not that one can just do whatever they want. Unfortunately, at the present moment, there is scarcity. There is scarcity of Brahmanas, and since the so-called Kshatriyas and Vaishyas do not carry out the order of Brahmana, the world is in chaotic condition. Here, here by those ईदृशी भगवतो गतिर आत्मवादा एकांततो निगमभिः प्रतिपादिताः न तुष्यन्त अदभ्र करुणा स्वकृतेन नित्यं को नाम तत् प्रतिकरोति विनोद पात्रम. Oh, oh, yeah. What is the word that's used here? One second. It is said Vinado patram means vina means without. Udapatram means offering of water in cupped hands. It is said, how can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Lord, he is telling about the Brahmanas, be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction. Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed among the human society out of their mercy. So, yeah, saying so, Maitreya is saying, Ta Atma Yoga Pataya Adi Rajena Pujita Silam Tadiyam Samsantaha Khe Bhavan Mishatam Nunam. Mishatam means while observing this, he said, indeed they appeared in the sky and praised the character of the king, and everyone observed them. Hare Krishna. Jai. Okay, what happened here? Yeah, thank you very much. If there are any thoughts about this part of the chapter, any questions? What did we take? What we take from today? Was it too fast? I don't know. I tried to cover almost like how much? 25 to 45, 48. Yeah. I think that's why we usually have in our temples, yeah, one verse per day. Srimad Bhagavatam, one verse. So that very slow, yeah, we take enough time to absorb, understand. Yeah, but I think it would take our lifetime to finish the Bhagavatam with that. I don't know anything, anyone observed something interesting? If it was not too fast. No? Shall we repeat this part again tomorrow?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm.
Today's lecture was again beautiful one, and this lecture also tell us a lot of things. So at a time, I will not remember everything from today's, but yes, of course, some points that definitely noted down, like important ones,
Mm.
was the liberation,
Mm.
how we can get, and what will help us to get us liberated, and also about the detachment, that detachment, how it's possible,
Mm.
and also at the same time attachment is also important, but only to the supreme godhead, which is
Yeah.
very very important. So
Mm.
these two things, of course, I took it noted, and there are also other things about the Pṛthu Maharaj and the conversation between the four Kumāras.
Mm.
So it was lots of learning at a time, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, too much. And 20 plus verses, a lot.
Yes, it's a
Yeah, but
lot,
yeah.
but
But
yes,
summary is that, yeah, very nice.
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for this beautiful Bhagavatam lectures. It
Mm.
is definitely helping us. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Madhuri Mataji. Your voice is too far, Seema Mataji.
Is it better now, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay. Prabhuji, what is detachment? So you, in one of the purports, there was an emphasis on detaching and attaching a lot to Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it feels, the attachment to Krishna is the time goes very fast. And then when you're back in the normal routine life, then then the time is not going. So I am not clear with the concept of attachment and detachment. It seems I can't completely go away at this point of time. It seems, but yeah, that's a conflict that's happening every day. So it's a big struggle, Prabhuji.
Okay. Detachment, yeah, we hear as vairagyam. Yeah, vairagyam is a state of natural, genuine detachment. Yeah, not just fake. Yeah, there is also called Falgu Vairagya. Falgu
Mm-hmm.
Vairagya means something pseudo Vairagya, pseudo detachment, pseudo, like you feel that you are detached. Reality is you are not really detached, you're attached to
Mm.
so many things. So our mind, our nature is that we really want to be detached, but we are not yet that stage. So,
Mm.
given a case that if today all of a sudden in your bank there is a unimaginable wealth that has fallen. Yeah, we can't simply say, hey, now I am ready for detachment.
Hmm.
It is not that someone is forcing us to really work. It is not someone is, it is our, we own ourself, our desires, attachment is actually doing that. So even if the Lord is arranging so many things that you can be free from anxiety, you can be free from fears, you can be free from all unnecessary things, but it is still we attached. So to be real genuine detachment is something to have dependency in Krishna. When we have so much dependency in Krishna, then we come to this platform of, you know, vairagyam is easier. The real vairagya becomes easier. But again, to come to that real vairagya, what is the supporting stick? What is the supporting, what, when we are walking, right? We need this supporting stick, otherwise we keep shaking. It said
Mhm.
in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is this example given that if someone is working on, I think the Goswamis are saying that walking on ice, that too which is land, it is very slippery. Durgame patimendasya sala padala kamala yo mohor Santa Santa. It is said that it is so slippery, the path is very difficult to walk on this because it is slippery and yeah, and slant and steep, very difficult. But how can we walk is by taking the support of what? Sadhus, saints. Which means when we determine ourselves to walk in the line of sadhus, with their strength, with their blessing, we can actually go in the path of real detachment, which is, yeah. And the real detachment is not just disconnecting from the material world, which is very difficult. Huh?
Hmm.
Because, yeah, we may be already responsible kids, we may be responsible parents, we may be responsible citizens of the society. How can you detach from these things?
Hmm.
We want to make all these responsibilities Krishna conscious. Means we are responsible children, we are responsible parents, we are responsible citizens in the context of keeping Krishna in the center. That is the real detachment. Because whatever we are getting, we are just being grateful, we are thankful, and we are offering everything to Krishna. That is how we are not incurring any credits, whether it is positive or negative. Yeah, you're getting
Mhm.
the point? So
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you all of a sudden have seen €1 million in your account, detachment doesn't come just because of that. Detachment really comes when we depend on Krishna. Yeah,
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah.
yeah. So that means we are attaching to Krishna. When we don't attach to Krishna, detaching from the material world is no question. It's not at all possible. Impossible.
What does it mean attaching to Krishna?
To engage in Harikatha by engaging in his service, that is what it means to attach to Krishna, means to always think about Krishna. Just like how a piece of iron is
Hmm.
attracted to magnet, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, just like how a honeybee is attracted to the flowers to take the makaranda, the best of all honeys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is Krishna, and we just get attracted to him. How? By engaging in his service, by hearing his glories, by doing what he's saying, doing what he's expecting.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, that's all about it. Yeah. So our life is mainly basically we are thinking we want to attach more with the desires, what we have to fulfill them. पहले ये कर लेते हैं बाद में देखते हैं भगवान को. Hmm?
Hmm.
Sometimes we have this mentality. Let's first finish off all our desires, all our responsibilities, then we take to Krishna. That will never happen. The more and more we are attracted to this kind of magnet, yeah, the more and more we are in danger because this is also Maya, right?
Right.
You want to get attached to Yoga Maya or Mahamaya?
But
Maha,
both are there.
Mahamaya is Durga Devi. She is also
Okay.
facilitating us to go to Krishna only, but in a different way. Uh, through the art of learning lessons by hard way. The easy way is getting attracted to Yoga Maya, which means the understanding by appreciating the Leelas of the Lord. That is what we are giving ourselves exposed to Yoga Maya. Oh, wow. See, always hear Harikatha, hear Bhagavatam.
Okay, I have never heard about this perspective, Prabhuji. This is new to me, but yeah, this makes it clear. Yogamaya and Mahamaya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, then thank you very much. Have a nice evening and see us tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Then vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।